Lads, you know the score, okay? It's Sunday, it's supposed to be Sunday Funday, and if ruining Sunday Funday was a game of Connect 4, the Eagles would have won by now. Today was a very bumpy day for Philadelphia. There was a lot of injury concerns in what was the final training camp practice open to media, so sit back, buckle up, you might want a beer for this one. We're going to break down everything that has happened over the course of the last 24 hours, and to mark the occasion, it's only fitting that we have a slightly more fitting intro for Sunday Funday. As always, guys, if you are new around here and you do enjoy this content, it will be amazing if you could hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 21,000. We will be doing a giveaway when we hit that big number, so make sure you stick around. And I want to hear your comments down below because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them today. All right, let's start with the mildly good news. And I say good news, it's still bad, but on a scale of, you know, good to terrible, it's alright. Carson Wentz was absent from practice today with a minor soft tissue injury. That's the bad bit. The good bit is that he's listed as day-to-day. Whatever that means for Philadelphia, I don't know. Let's remember Jordan Howard and Deshaun Jackson and every other... But by all accounts, the team are just being cautious with their franchise quarterback, which is totally understandable. After all, he is their franchise quarterback. He was on the sidelines, he was walking around fine, he had his jersey on, he just wasn't partaking in practice. So it's safe to assume, I think, that Carson Wentz, touch wood, will be ready for week 1. It's just a minor issue, minor quibble, nothing too much to worry about, just the team being extra cautious. That bit, that's alright. It's the next bit that stings a bit. First round pick, Jalen Reagor suffered an upper body injury today on a pass breakup by Avonte Maddox. He walked over to the sideline, clutching his arm on his shoulder. It was later revealed that the injury won't require surgery. Again, good news. Bad news, he's going to be out for 4 weeks. And if we were to provide an approximate timeline, you've got 2 Sundays until week 1 against Washington. Another 2 would be week 3. If we're going to the day, would you really put him in that week 3 game? Probably not. So you're looking at week 4 maybe for a return, which I don't see being that bad. Yes, it's a quarter of a season. Yes, it's worrying. Yes, it's bad. But at the end of the day, like, let's just swipe our foreheads of sweat here. It's not a season-ending injury. It doesn't need surgery. It's soft tissue. He can work his way back and everything will be okay. I hope. For the positions to suffer an injury like that, wide receiver was probably the best fortress to hit. Deshaun Jackson is still your starting Z receiver, even if Rhaegar is healthy. And this also means that the guys further down the depth chart get a bump. We're not quite at practice squad level just yet, unlike in last year. John Hightower, have I mentioned John Hightower this year? I don't think I have. John Hightower, who has had an explosive summer camp, including today, will be elevated, I'm assuming, to that secondary Z role. So he will be behind Deshaun Jackson, ready to fill in when needed. That's not a bad thing. Like, that's really not that bad. I'm excited about that, if anything, like, in the weirdest way. Kes Watkins, I'm assuming, will be the primary slot backup behind Greg Ward Jr., but don't be surprised to see him out on the field. And in a bizarre twist of fate, okay, John Clark tweeted out that Alshon Jeffrey might be ready by September. Now, September's a very vague timeline. That's saying, like, I might hit puberty in adulthood. I'm now 25, it hasn't happened yet. Although, I do think this is encouraging. Like, you can assume it'll be towards the end of the month. He's coming off of a very serious foot injury that has deprived him of the entire offseason. And the Eagles do kind of need him on the field. Like, at the end of the day, they've got a monumental sum of money to be paying him. And if they want to trade him away at the end of this season, they can't do it on the back of whatever the hell happened in 2019 and all of those character concerns. Like, Jeffrey needs this redemption tool. He needs to be on the field. And if he can't do it, that's going to hurt his future career. It's going to hurt the Eagles. And it's just overall not a good vibe. My worry is, though, that if he does come back straight away, because the Eagles are financially tied to him, would they still start him over JJ Arcega-Whiteside, who has received a huge boost in confidence this past few weeks, and would be your starting ex-receiver? Like, that's the prime mold. Would you rip that away and just put Jeffrey back in on no preseason, no OTAs, no training camp, a serious foot injury, and the Joe Cena scandal? Like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't. That's not my decision to make. But again, receiver help when you've got one down. If you can get another option back, it only helps the Eagles. Now, I would talk about training camp takeaways, but I do want to focus a video on that on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we've got This Week in Philadelphia Sports tomorrow, and then Tuesday or Wednesday, because the practices are now closed off from the media, I'd love to just go back and look at absolutely everything. Like what we've learned, good, bad, ugly, stock up, stock down, everything in one big super video. So I want to save it for that. We'll also be doing a video on the upcoming roster bubble, players to keep an eye on that are on the fringe of either making a roster or slipping below it and missing the cut. We will be back again tomorrow for This Week in Philadelphia Sports. It is the end of training camp. It's a little bit emotional, isn't it? It's kind of come and gone in the blink of an eye, and I just wanted to say a massive, massive thank you. Again, the last few months have put such a strain on myself, on Philly Sports Network, because not only have we had the pandemic, there's been a lot of like behind the scenes stuff and stuff I'm sure some of you guys have seen on social media that we've had to work through, and it's been a very taxing time emotionally and mentally for me, and without you guys, I genuinely don't know where I'd be. So thank you for the continued support, for just taking time out of your day to watch what we put out. It really does mean everything to us, and truly, without you, there is no PSN. So just a massive, massive thank you. Until next time, I'm Liam Jenkins, and we'll see you soon.